What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be talking about 3 moves that wide receivers can use that are unguardable. So I hope this video helps you guys out. Hope it could teach you a few new things, but also, fellas, if you are a wide receiver and would like to get faster, check out that very first link in the description below where you could get access to 85 plus speed and agility drills, all based on your running mechanics. We give you different plyometric exercises, and we organize all drills into specific playlists with the exact sets and reps to follow. Also, we include speed workout plans, on-field workout plans for you guys to do. So if you guys would like access to first down speed training, check out that very first link in the description below. We'd love to get you on that, fellas. Let's get started with this video. So this first move that we're going to be talking about here is a rocker step versus off coverage. More specifically, a rocker step on a route like a corner or a route like a post route. So we're looking at this router from CeeDee Lamb. He's coming up to this DB and hits him with this great rocker step. So if you're not familiar with what a rocker step is, that's essentially like a double cut at the top of the route. So instead of him just running this corner route and breaking off of his inside foot, which would be his left foot, he steps in the direction that he is going to go first. So it's a 1-2 or a double move at the top of the break. So you see how he steps here, steps in the direction he's going first. He's going to push off of that cut and fake back to the inside. So what are the mechanics behind this cut? How do you get a move or a rocker step that's as smooth as this specific one here from Lamb? So first things first, when you were using a rocker step on a corner or a post, aka a 45-degree cut, you have a little bit more leeway with your stride on this type of move. So you see how he doesn't make this move lateral. When he hits this rocker step, his next step is at like a 45-degree. He does not break his stride because that will cause us to lose speed, and that will cause us to have a harder time getting out of this break at a 45-degree angle. So you want to make sure that you're attacking vertical when you do this rocker step on a corner and on a post. There are many different routes that you could use this rocker step on that we're going to discuss as this video goes on. But when you're using it on a corner or post, do not break your stride. Keep your momentum and be attacking forward when you do the move. Now, when you guys go to make this move, the first step of the rocker step is not the step that's most important. It sets you up for the most important step, which is the second step. But this is honestly like a quick, sudden step that is inside of your frame. It's a hard cut. So when you take that hard cut and it's inside of your frame, it makes it easy for you to drive off of this cut, to push into the second one, which is the step that helps you sell the move, where you can step a little bit further. Maybe you over-exaggerate this cut a little more. You still want to stay inside your frame. You don't want to reach super far, but this is the cut that ultimately sells it. The first cut sets you up. The second cut is what sells it. Now, when you guys strike the ground on a rocker step, obviously off of this first cut, what do you want to do? You want to push off of this cut, right? Because we're trying to sell. We're trying to sell like we are running a post in this case. Or if you're running, a post and using a rocker step, you want to sell like you're running a corner. You want to sell like you're going opposite of the direction that you are. So when you make this cut, you have to push off of that middle arch of your foot. Your weight should be distributed on the inside part of your foot. You want to be striking the ground on the ball of the foot on maybe the middle arch, but your weight should be distributed on the inside part of your foot so you can push back and forth. You should be able to almost do this rocker step zigzagging down the field for 50 plus yards. That's how smooth it should feel with your foot strike. A lot of times what receivers will do on this move is they will try to overdo the first step. They'll land on their heel first, their toe will slap down, they lose all explosion. You have to stay on that middle arch ball of your foot, and you have to push off of the middle arch to sell the next step. Now, as we know, selling the route does not just necessarily come from us stepping really wide or stepping really hard with my feet. A disciplined DB is going to be watching what? His eyes are going to be on my hips. So while you are doing this rocker step, you almost want to think that your upper body is completely separate from your lower body. Your lower body wants some twitch. You want some quickness to it. You want to be able to step outside the DB's frame, but the upper half needs to stay loose. So you see when CeeDee Lamb makes this move, look at the upper body. You see how his hips go with the first cut. Then what does he do? Hips go with the second cut. You sell routes with your hips and with your shoulders, aka your body language. So something I tell my wide receivers is you should try to turn your belly button to the side that you are going on a rocker step. So if you're trying to fake to the inside, I want to turn my belly button to the inside because that's going to bring my hips, and that's what will sell this move more with on this DB, right? So we have to make sure that the steps are sudden, my toes are staying leaning forward so the weight can stay on the inside part of my foot like so I could drive, but that upper half is separate. That upper half is what's going to sell the move. So that's how you guys would use a rocker step on a 45-degree cut, like a corner, like a post, when you're against off coverage. Now, this next example we're looking at here from Jamar Chase is going to be a rocker step on a 90-degree breaking route. So that would be, for example, an out or a dig. On this rocker step, personally, I only like this move on 4 routes. I like it on an out, I like it on a dig, I like it on a post, and I like it on a corner. But when you use it on an out or when you use it on a dig, the mechanics are a little bit different than the corner and the post. You're still selling with your upper half. It's still the same type of move, but the mechanics are a little bit different. So that's what I want to discuss here. So we see Chase come up into this route. He hits this receiver or this DB with this quick rocker step, and he's able to break on a 90 and win on this out route. So if we have to break on a 90 with my rocker step, do you think that when you make these steps, it's going to be at a 45-degree angle like the post or like the corner? Probably not, right? Because on a 90-degree cut, you have to actually get out at 90. There could be a little bit of a drift, like maybe it's like a situation where you're breaking at 8 up to 10. It's one of those out routes. Or maybe it's a dig where it's like 10 to 12, where you have a little bit of room to drift. But for the most part, you have to get straight out at 90. On a corner, you could take this thing up as much as you want, so you could keep your steps at that 45. But on an out route, we have to be more lateral with the move. So you see when Chase goes to make this move, again, he's running an out route. So if we're using a rocker step, what foot are you stepping with first? The foot that is to the side of the direction you're going. So if I'm going to the outside, I'm stepping with my outside foot first. But his second step, you see, is more of a lateral step. It's more of him trying to sell like he's running a dig, sell like he's running a 90-degree inside breaking route. Your hips, your shoulders, everything has to go with the step. But the 1-2 is more flat because that will help you get out of the break more flat and help you get more separation on that route. But also be at the spot the quarterback expects me to be at. I can't do that rocker step in stride like that, drift upfield, especially when we have this DB stacked. We cannot afford to drift and give him time to recover. So that's how you guys can use it. Now, situationally with the rocker step, we saw 2 examples, right? We saw it when we had a DB who's in off coverage and we're running up and we have to break. And then we saw it a situation where the DB's in press coverage and we used it when we stacked him. Those are the 2 best times to use this move. When we have a DB who's off, maybe it's a safety, maybe it's a corner, maybe it's a DB in off man, and you're using it when you're closing the space with him, or when you have a guy in press and we are lucky enough to stack him. If we have him stacked and he's trailing my back hip, I love this rocker step on that out, that dig, that post, or that corner. So let's play this thing again, full speed one more time. Great job by Chase stacking, getting skinny, using a more lateral rocker step, bringing his hips to sell it, and then winning on that out. So now, this next move we're going to be discussing here is going to be something called, I would consider this more of like a box cut. This is more of like, I would say like almost like a fake to a comeback route and then a dig here from Tyreek Hill. But this is a very, very advanced move that you guys can use at the top of the break if you are backside on a route. I highly recommend it when you are backside, second read, not a first read, and this quarterback's expecting us to be out of that break extremely fast because this move does take a little bit of time. When this route was posted everywhere when Tyreek Hill ran this, all the comments were, hey, this route's going to take too long, quarterback sacked, I hope he has good protection. So you got to understand when to use this. You can't be using this when you're the first read on the play. That would be something like a rocker step, a single cut, a speed cut, whatever the faster move may be that you decide to choose. So let's play this full speed. So Tyreek Hill comes off the ball, takes an outside release, he's got to run a dig, he's not able to stack, so he sells like he's running a comeback and then is able to create space on that dig. A lot of it too as well. So let's talk about this, right? So if I got a DB and it's pre-snap and he's lined up taking away the inside, right? So he's taking away the inside. I have an inside breaking route like this deep dig. But here's the thing. If he's inside shade, I'm not going to be able to take the inside release. That's his entire goal, is do not give up the inside release. Force everything to the sideline, which is honestly his help. If we run out of bounds or we're running right on the sideline, that doesn't do us any good, and that doesn't do my quarterback any good. So what we have to do is off the ball, you see Tyreek does a little move, attacks his leverage to the inside, takes the outside release. Now, like we saw with that example with Jamar Chase, what should our goal be every time that we're against press coverage? Our goal should be to stack, right? I want to get over the top. I want that DB trailing my back hip so I could give him a move at the break point like a rocker step and then create some separation over the middle. But what if I can't do that? What if I don't have him stacked? What if he's right on my hip? I can't get over the top. What do I do? So at the break point, you see how Tyreek Hill, what he does is he starts to break down. He snaps down. This is like the box cut of it, I guess you could say. How I would teach this move, because again, it's harder to do this type of technique this far downfield. But if I were teaching this move, I would have it be in like kind of a controlled environment first to get the steps down of the move. So like, for example, like let's say this was a cone, let's say this is a receiver, and we were working this box cut at the break, which is what Tyreek Hill does. I would tell him to snap down with his left foot. He would go left, right. He would drop his hips, and then he would go left, right, and do a crossover, selling like he's running an out route. So it'd be snap down, left, right, crossover left, right. So it'd be a total of 4 steps at the break point. So that's essentially what Tyreek Hill is doing. He just takes a lot of steps because he's trying to sell like a comeback route. And maybe this is something that they've emphasized in their playbook. Maybe it's something new that the receiver coach is having him do when they're running this specific route, whatever it is, right? So it could be something that's predetermined. But you see how he breaks down, drops his hips. Now, when you drop your hips, what does that do to the DB? That puts him on alert. He's expecting a route, whether that's a dig, a comeback, a hitch, a stop route. You change levels like that, and you change levels quickly, that's going to get a reaction out of this DB. So you see how he snaps down, and then what does he do? He kind of gives a jab to the outside here, like he's running a comeback, like he's running an out route, to get that DB to think, open up, maybe be a little off balance, and then you see the amount of separation that we are able to get. Again, use this move wisely on this route, because if you use this at the wrong time, fellas, that quarterback is going to expect us to be out of the break quick. And if we're not out of the break quick, he is going to move on or get sacked. And that is going to be on us as a receiver. So if you are a first read and you get this situation where this DB's right on your hip, maybe we break down and we slip under him. Maybe we stack him, give him a quick move, and go. But you got to go get up into the route, especially when you are the first read. But backside, second read, third read, this is absolutely a move that you can use. Let's play this again full speed one more time. So this is a great example of a box cut here. Could be a little bit faster, but essentially it's where you break down and throw a fake in the opposite direction you're going to get that DB to crash. All right, fellas, really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to leave those in the comment section below. We always appreciate the feedback. It's always great to hear from you guys. And again, fellas, if you would like to get faster, check out that very first link in the description below where you can get access to 85 plus speed and agility drills, all designed to make you a better athlete, increase your speed, increase your 40 or decrease your 40-yard dash. So check out that very first link in the description below if you're interested, fellas. I'll see you guys next time.